Liverpool versus everybody. How's everybody doing? This would be like a part two, if you will, of my lives today. I hope everybody's doing well today on this lovely Friday. Here afternoon in DC in the States. Oxlade Chamberlain. I think it's important to discuss Oxlade Chamberlain because I feel like, hey, Jiwi, what's up, man? I feel like it's very essential to see the growth in him in such a small time, in my opinion. While arguably you could say he still isn't consistent enough, I think he's been really, really good for us, and it puts a lot of things in perspective as far as where Arsenal is right now, where their midfield is. To be honest, I mean, when you think of Arsenal, you really think of anything really spectacular. Um, for a big blow for Liverpool, Pogba out for tomorrow. That's a blow for us. Oh, I guess you're trying to say he's a terrible player. Um, but Chamberlain, Ox, Chambo, whatever you want to call him. No, nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to him. I just wanted to come and do a segment on him, and the reason why I think it's important that we talk about him is because he left a team that a lot of them would think he's a waste man. A lot of people think that we were crazy to pay the amount we paid for him. That's an amount that usually people would put with a semi, maybe not world class player, but a player that's better, quote unquote, than Ox. We got him. We see what Arsenal's doing. We see what the midfielder's doing. Ox is doing everything he said he wanted to do, and people laughed about that. He wanted to play in the midfield. He's doing that, and he's doing it well by and large. Some games he's not as consistent, but he's doing it pretty well, and he's coming up big for us in games when we really need him. You think about United, you think about Newcastle. He wasn't amazing at Newcastle, but considering Wenger played him as exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing, And yet again, the whole moral of the story is Klopp. Tell me one player that Klopp has gotten that hasn't turned good, if you will. I'll wait. Karius might be the lowest on that totem pole. Cliven might be the lowest on that totem pole, but Cliven has done some great things for us, and we see what Karius is doing as he's maturing. Every player under Klopp has become like a different player. They've come from teams where they were valued to an extent, but they've come to Liverpool and almost rewritten their whole, you know, legacy, if you will. Not legacy, but the whole opinion about them. You know what I mean? Ox still needs a bit more to prove 35 million price. I wouldn't disagree with that, and this is not a thing to say he's the proven article. He's already there. No, he does. He has a long way to go. I think we forget with new players, he is a new player. This is a new team. It's a different system. I think it's a system that fits his skills. And like I said, it's Klopp. It's Klopp, man. It's his guidance. It's his reassurance of these players. It's the confidence he puts in them. I think 35 million is a fair price for Ox. I do as well, but I don't disagree with what the other comment was about him proving that. Still, and he does. We've only got him for half a season. Well, not half a season, a full season, but this is his first season, and so it's going to take some time for him to bed in still. And I think also maybe not playing every week could maybe be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look on it. I feel like it's a good thing. It allows us to flex our muscles and use other people on our team, but also gives him a breather. He doesn't feel like everything is on him. But back to the Newcastle game, he was very pivotal in that first goal, getting the ball and living by his name, what people call him, the Ox, just driving the ball. Because at the end of the day, listen, it's one thing to park the bus and or to low block team, whatever you want to call it, play defensively. It's another thing when a guy is running at you, you have to make a decision as a defender. You can't just sit there. So keeping shape is one thing, moving left to right, that's one thing. But actually having to stop it is a whole other thing in itself. So when you got a guy running at you, you have to make decisions. That's what opens things up. And Ox took the initiative, got that ball, and ran. And he's been doing that a lot for us. He doesn't do it all the time, but he has some great moments where he does that. Let's judge the lads at the end of the season. Our job right now is to support them. Yeah, no, I agree. My thing is not like to get people to convince them to jump on board and support their players. I'm just wanting to big up Ox because I feel like, again, although he's not the finished article, he's doing some great things. He's accomplishing his goals, which is playing with a team that allows him to play in the midfield. He's on a team now fighting for second, arguably the best team in the league besides City. We'll see by the end of the season. But we're the only team that beat City. And, the team that he left, we all know what's going on with Arsenal. So, he clearly wasn't valued there by the manager, not enough to play him in a position that he thought was best for him. I get it. Every manager is different. Maybe he felt that he should be best fit as a wing back. You know what I mean? But that's just not how I see it. Ox needs to start tomorrow if Pogba is out. They have a very slow midfield. He could, yeah. I mean, I think Ox should start anyway. He warrants it. The last couple games, I think he warrants it. And I know he has these moments kind of similar to Genie where he's ghosting out and you don't really know if he's part of the game until he makes like the Newcastle game. He wasn't amazing necessarily, but he jumped in. Soybean says, I think LFC is the best team despite who's in first place. I agree. Great point. I don't know. According to Klopp, Genie is fine. He'll be playing. I don't know if he'll start. I shouldn't say he'll be playing. He's back in training and things look good. I don't know. You know how Klopp is. He kind of keeps things close to his chest. So I don't think he'll start after not playing a couple games, but he will be available. I think it's hilarious that people ask him about Klein. And is Klein going to be, be ready to start in this game? I mean, you don't just come back into a team like that and just jump in. If you're Firmino maybe or Salah, okay, but Trent has been doing very well, as well as Gomez, that I don't think Klein could just come in and take it. Yeah, I think Miller and Ox deserve too, and it's just about that third one. I think it's Emery. I think it's got to be Emery. I think that's a great midfield for the team. Ox is turning into a proper player. He is. And again, I'm going back to give Klopp love. You know what I mean? He has this way of something about him and his relationships with these players, man. A players manager or players coach, that these players just flock to him. And he even spoke about it before he came Ox. I agree, Emery much better than United midfield. Yeah, we should be able to dominate. I got to look into this Pogba thing. I didn't hear about that, but I got to look into that and see what's going on. But yeah, guys, nothing major. I just want to come and talk about Ox. We'll be back later. Ox. Onyx will do his segment, and then I'll come back later. Milner will give more experience to the side. Yeah. No, definitely Milner's there for his experience, his old age. Let's be frank, which really just means his maturity, his experience again. Emery, Ox, and Milner should start in midfield. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. Thanks. Good to see you on, man. So thanks, guys. I'll be back, like I said, with Onyx and his segment, and then I'll come back later on. Hopefully with the guests, maybe not. We'll see what happens. Everybody laughs at Klopp for hugging and stuff like that. The spirit encourages. Yeah, but that's silly. Most people who talk about him would love to have him. All right, Julie. All right, Adam. See you guys soon, man.